everybody, welcome back to an episode of Pay Per Review. A very special episode of Review. I'm War Machine MJ.
With Rodimus Prime.
We are the 3 Count Mafia.
Yeah.
Rodimus, want to tell them why this is a very special episode?
Well, this is a very special episode, my friend, because we are here to talk about Evolve. Yes, one of the big major promotions for all over the world. One of the big major promotions that have produced some of the best wrestlers that we watch, like people like Matt Riddle, Johnny Gargano, Isaiah Swerve Scott, who you know as Shane Strickland, etc., etc. Now, this was Evolve 131, but as it was on the WWE Network, their 10th anniversary show, which was held live from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. WWE itself had a big week. Well, a big weekend in Pennsylvania, especially in Philadelphia. This was held at what used to be called the world-famous ECW Arena. Now, for those of you who know about ECW, you know about that building. It is now called the 2300 Arena.
Yeah.
There have been lots of events held at that building since the closure of ECW, so on and so forth. But before we talk about the review, what did you think about the show?
Despite how controversial it was, we'll get to that in a second, it was a really good show. There were a lot of talents I didn't know, and very few of them outside the WWE umbrella that I did know.
Yeah. I mean, like we said, they've produced some guys like Ricochet, Daniel Bryan,
Drew Gulak,
Drew McIntyre, so on and so forth.
In fact, Daniel Bryan said in an interview he's the one that came up with the name Evolve.
Yes. And it was originally called Dragon Gate USA. Now, for those of you who don't know about Dragon Gate, it's one of the big promotions in Japan. But Dragon Gate USA later became what we know now today as Evolve. Their first show was held 10 years ago, back in 2009. I almost said 1999, but that would have been an extra 10 years. But anywho, let's just go ahead and get on with the review. They started off the show with the ring announcer and a few people in the ring, kind of going back and forth.
Yeah.
He said that they were live. You know, that's the usual opening for Evolve, I guess. And then we started off the match with Josh Briggs taking on Anthony Green.
Retro Anthony Green.
Yes, or as they called him, Retro AG. Now, he was being accompanied to the ring by Brandy Lauren, who we would see later on in the show. We'll talk more about her later.
Hey, man, she was fine.
Oh, yeah, she is. She is gorgeous.
But yeah, Retro AG just looked like a cross between Joey Janela and Freebird Michael Hayes.
Yeah.
Because he's the leader of the Fanny Pack. That's a clever name. I'll give him that.
I kind of like that name. Now, that would be something I would rant about if it was like on main roster.
Oh, yeah, you would rant hard about it.
Oh, God. But being it's Evolve, I can give it a pass. Other than that, this match was pretty damn decent.
Yeah, that Josh Briggs dude, that cat is a monster.
Yes, I mean, one of the big stars in Evolve. He mentioned that he is coming for that Evolve Championship. Another thing we'll talk about later on in this review. But, yeah, both guys just went out there and killed it to start off the show. However, Josh Briggs got the victory. He is the first person, what's the commentator's name?
I don't know. I didn't catch his name. But yeah, he is the first person to win on an Evolve show broadcasted on the WWE Network.
So that's something he can definitely check off on his resume. Anyway, 11 minutes, 49 seconds. We gave this match a 3. Nice way to kick off the show.
Next, we had a fatal 4-way between Stephen Wolf, Kurt Stallion, the unwanted Savage, Sean Maluda, and Harlem Bravado.
As they called him, Harlem Globetrotter Bravado.
That's clever.
Yeah, I mean Harlem Globetrotters, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, I thought this was, I'm going to say this was kind of a sleeper match.
This was a fun match to watch.
Definitely. Both guys really just did their thing. I really liked Stephen Wolf. The crowd really seemed to be into him. Yeah. He really was the guy that, I guess you could say, mostly carried the match. I mean, all 4 guys carried the match.
Yeah.
But he was the one that stuck out to me.
Yeah. Just 4 young studs tearing it up.
Yep. But he got the victory, and I don't think Bravado was too happy, so we'll see more of him later on for those of you who watch Evolve. 9 minutes, 19 seconds, 4 out of 5, and it was definitely one hell of a match for the short time that it had.
Next was a grudge match between Arturo Ruiz, or as we know him as, damn it, what was he in next? Adrian Joe.
Yeah, Adrian Joe.
Taking on Anthony Henry.
Boy, I really enjoyed this match. Both guys really showed their MMA type prowess, if you will.
Yeah, because Adrian Joe is, I believe, a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
And Anthony Henry, I forget what his discipline is.
I forgot, too, because I think they mentioned he had a 2-0 record.
Yeah. He's a former amateur MMA.
Yeah, and he's been a professional wrestler for 16-plus years. And you wouldn't think him being in the business that long, he knows what he's doing, because he looks like he's been in the business less than that. Yeah. But, I mean, both guys just really went out there, and it was just like a strict MMA fight. And Anthony Henry got his nose busted early in the match, because I saw the referee quickly put the gloves on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this match was definitely...
it was definitely hard-hitting.
Yes. Anthony Ruiz, and, Arturo Ruiz.
Anthony Ruiz, there we go.
Yeah. Anthony Ruiz. Yeah, anyway. Ruiz got the victory over Anthony Henry. 9 minutes, 45 seconds, 3.5 out of 5.
Next was a no disqualification match between Brandy Lauren and Shotzi Blackheart.
I gotta say, I like Shotzi. Yeah. I like her shtick.
Now, I first saw her when she wrestled a bit in Impact.
Yeah. I don't remember her. I guess because I wasn't watching it now.
Yeah, this was like towards what channel were they on? Pop TV. Yeah, this was back when they were on Pop TV.
Yeah,
because she was fighting against like Kiera Hogan and all that crew.
Oh, the people they have now.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I wasn't too impressed by Shotzi Blackheart.
I like her. I wasn't too impressed by Brandy Lauren. I almost said Leon.
Wrong brands.
Yeah, wrong brands. Anyway, Brandy Lauren, to me, she just didn't come off as exciting. I mean, she's good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying she's bad. She's good in her own right. And so is Shotzi. But I like Shotzi more because the crowd seemed more into her, being she was the baby face.
She's more dynamic.
Right. That's what I'm trying to say. She sticks out more than Brandy did. Now, well, she stuck out more than Brandy did.
Now, Brandy Lauren had some extra help. I forget
yeah, it was Natalia something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Anthony Green came out there.
Yeah, Retro AG came out there and made the save a couple of times.
Yeah. One spot during the match is when she set up chairs and she was going to do that suicide dive.
Yeah. And
Anthony Green pulled Brandy out of the way, and Shotzi just went crashing through a bunch of chairs. I was just sitting screaming, "Oh my God!"
She's got a good suicide spear though.
Yeah, I mean the match was okay, but Brandy found a way to get the win via vicious kendo stick shots. Just kept whacking her with the kendo stick. 1, 2, 3. Brandy Lauren got the victory in 9 minutes 49 seconds. 3 out of 5. Very good match.
Now, the next match was Babatunde taking on the unwanted son, Colby Carino, accompanied to the ring by the unwanted savage, Sean Maluda.
Yeah. Basically, he is like their, I guess their...
He's their whipping boy, essentially.
Their whipping boy, if you will, of the unwanted. Babatunde, oh my God.
This cat's another monster.
This dude... They said he's 6'10", 355. I believe he's more than that. This dude was like this. Kobe was like this. Babatunde has to be, I think they're lying about his height. He's got to be every bit of 7 feet 1.
Believe it or not, this is not the first time we've seen Babatunde.
Yes, they mentioned that he went face-to-face at the greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia against Braun Strowman of all people. Now talk about a monster.
Yeah, he was the stand-in for Yokozuna.
Oh God! And apparently, the Prince of Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, he was not up to date on his wrestlers.
Yeah, he called in. He said he wanted Yokozuna, but they had to remind him that guy's dead.
Yokozuna, Ultimate Warrior, and Undertaker.
Now Undertaker is still alive, but
two literal dead guys and a metaphorical dead guy.
Right. Go figure.
Anyway, but yeah. back to Babatunde and Colby Corino, he basically brutalized this kid.
Yeah, Sean Maluta did everything he could to help his unwanted brother, but unfortunately, it did not help because all you heard was a bunch of smacks, a bunch of chops,
and a bunch of dead weight flying around.
Yeah, and a bunch of sweat flying too, because I felt sorry for Kobe.
Yeah.
Anyway, Babatunde got the victory in 3 minutes and 9 seconds. We're only giving this a 2 because this was pretty much a squash.
Next was for the Evolve Tag Team Championships. It was representing the Unwanted King, Eddie Kingston, and I think he was the Unwanted Psycho.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, Unwanted Psycho Joe Gacy taking on AR Fox and Leon Ruff.
Now, before we talk about this match, I do like how they show the video packages throughout the show.
Yeah.
I really like that, especially with the Unwanted, because Eddie Kingston, and I do agree with you, he is very underrated. He's one of the most underrated wrestlers, not only in Evolve, but also in the world of wrestling, period. Because for the little I saw of him in Impact, he's very good as far as promos. He's good on the mic. And that promo he cut after they won the tag titles, I mean, what more can you say about the guy?
He's got a nice gravelly voice.
Yeah, he's got that voice where it's like when he talks, you listen.
Yeah, he's even got the old school gangster accent with it too.
Yeah. And AR Fox and Leon Ruff, they mentioned that AR Fox trained him.
Yeah.
So that was cool. But these two teams really just kicked ass. Because after the match, they came out and Eddie Kingston was like, well, we're going to do to them what we did to the Street Profits. You're welcome.
Yeah.
And then they said, Babatunde, we're going to take you down, you big, stupid bastard. Because apparently Eddie Kingston has beef with him, as they mentioned. But anyway, he bailed out. They started the match. And this was just balls to the wall, fast-paced, incredible.
Yeah, this was a high octane. It was a free tag match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As they call it, relaxed rules.
Yeah, relaxed rules. They didn't have to tag in or out.
Yeah, because I mean, Eddie Kingston and Joe Gacy did everything they could to put away this team, but it wasn't enough because Joe had set up a table outside the ring between the guardrail and the post, and I forgot what the spot was. Leon, I think it was Leon, he did a dive onto Joe through the table.
Yeah.
And then AR Fox covered Eddie Kingston, and they won the tag team title. So we have new Evolve tag team champions in AR Fox and Leon Ruff, because they said that AR Fox said that if he won this with Leon, this would be better than anything he's done before. And the crowd was hyped. What they call their group?
I forget what they call their group, but you know, they all got in the ring and they just like threw down. Mm-hmm. It's a nice little celebration.
Yeah, they started dancing. The crowd was hyped. They were hyped. But it was a nice win. Congratulations to them. 5 minutes, 25 seconds.
Gets a 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5. For 5 minutes and 25 seconds, it was worth it.
Next match was a catch point reunion as Drew Gulak, the WWE Cruiserweight Champion,
In Philadelphia's own,
taking on Matthew Riddle.
Yes. He literally called him that.
Well, that's what they were called back in Evolve. That's what he called himself in Evolve.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but it was just like, he just kept saying Matthew, but anyway.
Now, I liked the basis of catch point.
Yes.
It's basically, you know, old school submission wrestling.
Yeah.
Kind of like Dean Malenko type stuff.
Yeah, it's basically, you just ground your opponent till he's basically worth nothing, and you just submit him till he can't go no more.
Yeah. Drew Gulak said he formed catch point out of respect for, you know, the style, but he didn't fully trust Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle didn't fully trust him.
Yeah. And I really like that interview they showed from, 2015?
Yeah, it was like 2015, 2014, somewhere there.
Yeah. And even Matt Riddle said something about catch point. And this really seems to work. I really like the essence. Just like you, I really like the essence of catch point.
Yeah.
It's really, you know, stick to your guns, ground and pound your opponent, and submit them till they can't go no more.
Yeah. It's old school submission style wrestling.
Right.
Now, Matt Riddle came out there with Kurt Stallion, who he looked like a bro.
Yeah.
And Drew Gulak came out there with he had a really cool entrance because he had a bunch of random dudes running around in catch point gear.
Yeah, yelling catch point. But it was nice. The crowd gave him a nice pop, being he's the hometown boy. And so these two just went to work.
Yeah.
And no flaws on either guy, because the crowd, myself, and MJ here, we really enjoyed this match.
I loved it.
I mean, it was great for what it was worth. But Matt Riddle ended up getting the victory. I really like how they traded submissions toward the end.
Oh, yeah.
It was fantastic. 13 minutes, 37 seconds, 4.5 out of 5. Now, Drew got on the mic. He said, I've always had respect for Matthew Riddle. And when I started Catch Point, I wanted him to join my group. And we did that. And, you know, it's always a pleasure and an honor to get in the ring with you. And they shook hands. And he told Kurt Stallion, he said, he handpicked you to be his opponent. I'm just hoping you're equally ready as I was.
Yep.
That was nice. That was nice for Drew to give him an endorsement.
That was a nice props. Next, we move on to Winner Take All. Before we get to that, we had a special guest ring announcer.
Now,
Austin Idol.
Austin Idol. Yeah. And he did a good job. Good job.
Yeah, he spent his entire time hacking up a lung while the crowd was telling him to shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Anyway, the lights went out, and who came in?
Paul E. Dangerously.
Yes. He knows a lot about being extreme. He knows a lot about Philadelphia. He knows a lot about the 2300 Arena.
And he knows how to mow down somebody who's trying to make a show out of themselves.
Yeah, and pretty much that fan shut the fuck up.
He did.
Because he said, you're the schmuck. I'm the one with the extreme microphone. And he got on the mic. He said, you know, a lot of companies, a lot of conventions ask me, well, they invite me to what they're doing.
No, they stop inviting me because I don't want to show up.
Yeah, yeah.
Here, I wanted to show up.
Yeah, he said, I wanted to show up. I asked to show up. He said, it's an honor and a privilege to be back home. Then he was the guest ring announcer for the next match, which is Winner Take All for the WWN Championship and the Evolve Championship. It was J.D. Drake,
The WWN champion.
yes, taking on Austin Theory, the 21-year-old prodigy representing Evolve. Now, before we talk about this match, I really loved the video package that they showed on both guys.
Yeah.
I mean, let's talk about J.D. Drake for a second.
They really sold the hell out of his story.
Yeah.
Like, he had to earn his way into this business. Guys like him don't make it this far. They're usually road crew.
Yeah.
He battled depression, alcoholism.
He lost his wife. He said he missed he said he missed the birth of his daughter and her first steps. I mean, he's been through the ringer, in all seriousness. Yeah. We're glad that he's gotten past that, but he's really had a story. And then Austin Theory.
They made him out to be a complete dick.
Former WWN champion, so this is not his first go-around as far as that title is concerned. He said, without me, this would not be on the WWE Network. He said, people try to make me look like the bad guy. First of all, J.D. Drake looks like he should be shoveling cases of beer. And
no, he said sitting on the couch eating potato chips.
Yeah, he said, you look like you came from a farm.
But you were too lazy to work.
Yeah, he said, it took you 15 years to get here. It took me 3. So that's a big difference. But he said, one day, I'm going to go to WrestleMania. I'm going to go to TakeOver. I'm going to be a future WWE champion. Yeah. Imagine him as WWE champion one day.
Oh, he'd get so much Miz heat.
Oh, anyway. Probably better than the Miz himself.
Anyway, yeah. I especially liked Paul Heyman's announcement of the competition because he gave off all these nicknames to Austin Theory. When he got to J.D. Drake, Drake cut him off, whispered something in his ear, backed off. He's like, he said he only needs one name, the Blue Collar Badass.
I love that.
Awesome.
And they even said it on the announce team even said that. Well, the guy who's doing the commentating, he even said that. And it fits his moniker perfect. He's a Blue Collar Badass. Anyway, this match was lit. Let's just say that. Now,
if I could be a little harsh for a second, while I was watching this, the thought came into my mind. I was like, J.D. Drake, he's like a great value Kevin Owens, huh?
Ow. Wow.
Okay, I'm done being harsh. He should have. He has no business moving like that.
Yes, I mean, he's what, every bit of 6'2", 300 pounds. And Austin Theory's what? He has to be what, at least 6 feet?
6 foot, about 200.
Yeah, we'll say he's giving up at least 100 pounds. But I mean, I told him off camera, people like JD Drake, Keith Lee, Braun Strowman, Damian Priest, Kevin Owens, Willie Mack, all these big dudes, even big guys back in the day. We keep saying Vader and Bam Bam Bigelow. It doesn't make any sense that these guys are moving at the rate they are. I mean, freaking 5'10", 6 foot, 6.
Hanson.
Huh?
Hanson.
Oh God, don't get me started on him. Freaking 350 plus pounds moving like cruiserweights. But this match was just mind blowing. I mean, the stuff that they were doing, early in the match, just like that, they were trying to hit their finishers and just back and forth, back and forth. But when it all came down to it, when it was all said and done,
Austin Theory proved he's no longer just a theory.
No, he is the man. He said after the match, "I am the measuring stick."
After he threw down the WWN belt.
Yes. So this is his second time becoming WWN champion. The lights went out.
Yeah, because he asked, "Who's my next challenger?
Yeah.
Who's coming for me?"
And
lights went out.
Who was it?
Came back up. Josh Briggs.
Josh Briggs, as we said earlier in the show, made it clear he's coming for the Evolve Championship. He took him out with a choke slam. He held up the title, put it back down on the mat, walked out. He was done. Anyway, this match lasted 16 minutes, 22 seconds. Another 5 out of 5 match.
If I can compare this match to anything, it felt like Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes.
I'll have to say,
Because, I mean, the story of the match fits. A guy who's literally built for the business versus some schmuck that worked his way in.
I'll kind of say, okay, I get it. Because Austin Theory would be the Ric Flair.
Mm-hmm.
JD Drake would be Dusty Rhodes. Okay,
Yeah.
I agree with that. I was going to say Sting and Flair. But then again, I mean, they had a good rivalry. But
they did, but
yeah,
it didn't. The stories don't mesh together.
I get you.
Anyway, next up, the main event for the NXT Championship, and we're not going to shout his name. It was NXT Champion Adam Cole, baby.
Yeah.
Taking on the Stamina Monster himself, 205 Live's own Akira Tozawa.
Now, both guys have a history with Evolve. The gentleman who was on commentary mentioned that Adam Cole's first match was in Philadelphia at the 2300 Arena, and they told him to come back at Evolve 3, which was years ago. So that was his very first Evolve show. Akira Tozawa, I mean, he's a legend in Evolve himself, the former Dragon Gate USA.
I think they said he was at Evolve 6.
I believe so.
It was one of the early ones. It wasn't the first one.
Yeah. But anyway, like we said, both guys have history with Evolve. Of course, Adam Cole was going to get the big pop, the Adam Cole baby. So yeah, Akira Tozawa also got a big pop as well. This was a pretty decent match.
Yeah, they tore it up.
They tore it up. Of course, Johnny Gargano had to make his presence known because he still has his beef with Adam Cole.
Yeah, Adam Cole tried to get a cheap win over Tozawa, with the belt.
Yeah.
Johnny Wrestling came out there, prevented it. However, Tozawa still fell to the last shot.
Yeah, because Adam Cole, baby, is still your NXT champion. I would still get that. I'm going to get that shirt. That gold, baby.
Yeah,
that's
gold,
nice.
baby, gold.
Yeah. Anyway, 13 minutes, 4 seconds, 4 out of 5. Now, superstar matches and overall.
Well, post show, we got a really nice heartfelt message from Johnny Gargano.
Oh, yeah.
Who was at the very first Evolve show.
Yeah. He said, this business has come full circle. I was at the very first Evolve show in 2009. 10 years later, here I am at the 10th anniversary show live on the WWE Network in front of all the fans here in Philly.
And apparently they close out their show by asking the fans, did you enjoy the show?
Yeah, because that was something that they would always ask after every Evolve show, to send the crowd home happy type thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a nice speech. Nice show overall. But superstar matches and overall ratings, superstars of the night go to Josh Briggs, Stephen Wolf, Arturo Ruiz, Anthony Henry. I literally put green. I had to mark that out. Shotzi Blackheart, A.R. Fox and Leon Ruff, Matt Riddle, Drew Gulak, Austin Theory, and J.D. Drake. Matches of the night go to Briggs versus Green, Ruiz versus Henry, the Evolve Tag Team Championship, Riddle versus Gulak, and the winner take all match. I mean, how could I not put that on there? Overall, I gave the show a 4.
I'd say 4.5.
I mean, it was very unexpected. I really wasn't anticipating on watching it, but it delivered.
Now, the controversial thing we pointed out earlier is this match happened the same night as Fight for the Fallen.
Mm-hmm.
And it was announced 2 or 3 weeks before the show.
Yeah.
Because Fight for the Fallen had been announced for a long while.
Yeah.
And Fight for the Fallen, as you guys know, was a charity show.
Yeah.
Like, they even went through extra links to make sure that it stayed charitable.
Yeah, because...
Kenny Omega didn't say bang.
Yeah, because he even said boing.
He said boing.
On being the Elite. He said any gun references wouldn't have made sense, being that most of the money made for the show was going to charity, in which they raised $150,000.
Yeah.
So I get his point.
Yeah. But, yeah, a lot of people were saying this was a petty move from WWE. And WWE's response was just, oh, we had camera crews in the area for Extreme Rules, so we figured might as well put this on the network too. I still think somebody had a petty decision moment with that one.
I feel like this whole thing with WWE and AEW, I get they want to have competition, but at the same time, it's like, oh, AEW's doing something, let's follow what they're doing. They're trying to, what's that I'm trying to say? It's kind of like follow the leader.
Piggyback.
Right. Whatever they're doing, they're going to try to one-up them, if you will.
I mean, don't get me wrong, competition is good. We're like the spoiled kids between two parents that are spoiling us.
Yeah.
But, for God's sakes, keep it cordial.
Yeah.
AEW's already said they're not competition.
Yeah. They're an alternative to what WWE is doing.
Yeah.
And, you look at Evolve. This was our first time ever watching an Evolve show. We've always, well, I can't speak for you, but I've always heard through word of mouth how good Evolve is.
Me too. And if Evolve does come to the WWE Network, I would not be against it.
No, not at all.
An extra, what was that, 3 hours?
Something like
that. It was
that.
like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
I would not be against that, because that was a pretty killer show.
Yeah. I mean, especially in the backyard of Extreme, with Extreme Rules being the next day. So, I mean, but like I said, WWE, I get what they're trying to do, but they're doing all this follow the leader stuff. It's really unnecessary.
Yeah. But, yeah, Evolve, great show, amazing. Check it out on the network if you haven't already.
Yes.
That being said, I'm War Machine MJ.
And I'm Rodimus Prime.
We are the 3 Count Mafia, and we will see you guys next time.
Pow!